As more learners are phased in from tomorrow and social distancing is required under level 2 of the lockdown, how will this be achieved with a class of 50 pupils? Will these class numbers be reduced? Are there clear regulations that will address these issues? Federation of Governing Bodies of South Africa's Schools CEO Paul Colditz joins me now to discuss this. Paul, good evening, and thank you very much for your time tonight. 50% capacity while learners are coming back. I mean, does that instruction make sense to you and how it's going to be carried out?
Yes, absolutely. Good evening, and good evening to all your viewers. Although it has been stated in the media and all over that all learners will be returning tomorrow, that is not quite true. It is only 50%. At any given time, there may only be 50% of the learners at school. So schools have been given options on how to implement this, either by rotating on a weekly or bi-weekly basis or on a daily basis the return of learners to schools. So if you have indeed a situation where you have 50 kids in a class, then obviously you cannot accommodate, and you're not allowed in law to accommodate more than 25 at any given time. So in that regard, we're quite confident that if schools have done their job, if parents contacted schools with regard to exactly how they will return their learners, then it should be safe and it should be all well for parents to return their children to school.
Paul, are those directives clear to all principals in particular of how this scheduling of learners in and out and those who are supposed to take weekly off, how it's all going to work? Because there are principals who are really at this point quite concerned about the question of overcrowding.
I'm a little confused as to why they should be concerned, because these directives have been published since the 23rd of June. So every school principal, all school leaders, school governing bodies should be exactly aware of exactly what these directives prescribed in terms of the return of learners, the staggering return, and the 50% requirement. So they've had ample opportunity to make plans and to consult their communities on what would be best for their particular community. There shouldn't have been any problem until now.
What about the manpower to be able to handle these splits that are supposed to happen? Has that been supplied for?
Yes, Department of Basic Education has made provision for the fact that we could expect that there would be teachers with comorbidities. There has been a recruitment drive to make sure that those people who are able to teach, who are not employed at the moment, are available and have submitted their particulars to the departments in the provinces. There is a slight concern with regard to the availability of teachers to teach children. But if you consider the fact that there are about 450,000 teachers in the system and 10,000 have been identified with comorbidities and may have applied for leave to teach from home, then I don't think it is a very serious problem. It may be a problem in particular schools where there may be particular pressures, but that should also have been addressed and should be addressed by the leadership at the school.
So from the SUB body, as far as you're concerned, the issue of overcrowding might be there, but it would be on a limited number of schools. By and large, all schools should be able to accommodate this split as far as the space is concerned, but also as far as the teachers that are required to be teaching are concerned.
Yeah, let me just make it clear that overcrowding is not limited to a small number of schools. Overcrowding is a general thing in South African schooling. We have many schools that are, in fact, overcrowded. But the fact that only 50% are allowed back at school at any given time may alleviate this problem significantly.